Hello to everyone currently listening in right now to another JTV ASMR Livestream with me, Aurelius the Butler. How are you lovely folks out there? Are you all well? Hello to you, Slasher. Hello. Hello, Felicia as well. If there's anyone else out there, I'll gladly say hello, because I can see quite a few people, quite a few familiar faces. Hello, Chantel, good to know you're well. Hello, Blue Bats and Star Glow, Jelly Bean, oh, Venom Cat VA. Happy time zone to you too. And a big heart to you as well, Dragon Star. Hello, thank you all for coming. Oh, how am I doing? Yes, I'd like to think I'm doing quite alright. Quite alright today, quite excited as well. I admit, a little bit anxious, but excited all the same, to do a big reveal. That and also, well, let's just say there's been some, shifting around of things, so the audio quality of my microphone and in my recording space might sound, notably different than usual. And if that's the case, then please do, of course, bear with me. And, oh, a hug to you as well, Felicia. A chill stream today? Well, you could say that. A bit of poetry readings on the menu for today and a big reveal. And hello to you, Tsunami Shurya. Hello. Offensive to say that I sound posh? Quite the opposite. Quite the opposite, Venom. I'll take that as a compliment any day of the week. Thank you, thank you. And I sound extra posh, extra soft, sorry, do I, Slasher? Well, I suppose, again, I've mixed around the recording space, you could say. So I'm just trying to be a bit more mindful, since I'm much closer to the microphone now. So that means, well, you don't want me to be belting out this, that, and anything. But of course, being an ASMR stream, I think a soft, well, my usual soft-spoken speaking should suffice. Glad to know you love reading as well, Felicia. Oh, bless you calling me cute and adorable. No, don't make me blush. Well, glad to know that you think I sound sophisticated, and, well, you could think of it as that. I mean, I, Aurelius the Butler, I'm your butler after all, and that means, of course, that, well, of course I'm going to be treating this stream with the sort of, shall we say, delicacy that it deserves. Oh, thank you, Starglow, calling me the greatest butler, bless you. And Chantel, well, yes, this is my natural voice, you see. This is how I normally sound. Oh, you and your compliments, Felicia. And, ooh, good question, Slasher. Poems for today. Well, quite a mix, actually. Mostly 20th century poems, but some 21st century poems mixed in as well. Some blue poems, some imaginative poems, maybe some gothic ones, and definitely a few silly, funny ones as well. Adora Butler created a brand new word. I love it. Oh, you're all adorable. All of you are adorable to me. Oh, bless you, Jelly. I hope that the children settle down a bit. Maybe if they listen to the stream, maybe that could get them to calm down. We have another person here. Meiruma Intisar. there we go. Yes, that's it. Hello to you too. Oh, and as always, everyone, remember to hydrate. Any Edgar Allan Poe? You must be a mind reader, Venom. I do actually have a book of Edgar Allan Poe right next to me. I could do some reading from that at some point. Oh, Felicia. You know how to put a big smile on my face, make me look like a big doofus. Oh, there's an idea from Slasher. Send your kids on a quest, Jelly. Get them to hunt down something, or perhaps a quest on who could be the quietest for the longest amount of time. Pardon me if I start blowing out my nose. I'm not going to, completely blow it out like that. It's just slightly stuffy. Sinuses is all. Oh, Maruna, thank you. I hope that you enjoy the soft-spoken readings for today, and all around enjoy the calm, chill vibe that we're all used to. I mean, many of the recurring fans are used to. But of course, I'm always glad to have more people. Always glad to have more fans tuning in. Oh, no, it's not that, Chantel. It's not that. Honestly, the room I'm in, I've shifted around rooms for recording live streams, and this one is a bit cold. I think I need to turn up the what's it called? The radiator, silly me. I need to turn up the radiator a bit more. The thing is, I've got to be careful. I don't want to melt the additional hard drive plugged into the PC, is the thing. It's all awkwardly placed, you see, and there's not much I can do about that, but got to adapt. But yes, I think I should probably turn up the radiator a bit more. Allergy season, oh, good point. Don't want to be caught with sniffles all the time. And of course, just as a reminder, everyone, in case you hear any noises outside, I do apologize in advance. I'm trying my best to, kind of keep the noise down. You never know what be going on in this mansion. Other servants moving around, causing noises and whatnot. And well, Meiruma, I'm going to be doing a big reveal very, very soon before delving into some poetry reading. A big, interesting reveal. I hope you all enjoy it. I'm quite anxious, as I mentioned before. A little bit nervous, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Not quite used to having the microphone right directly in front of me. Usually I kind of lean to the side to speak into it, but this time I'm mixing it up, and you'll see why soon enough. You'll see why. In the meantime, for all the new people here, I hope that you're enjoying these calm, ambient tunes in the background. I really hope that's adding to the experience. Again, we will be starting rather soon. Just trying to give everyone a bit of a head start with jumping into the stream. Then we'll get to the big reveal, and then the poems. An intense game of Uno. Wouldn't be surprised. You know how intense that game can get. Much like that game I've heard so much about, Monopoly. I've heard that people seem to start civil wars over that. Oh, pollen turning cars yellow. Crikey. And good point, Alicia. Spring allergy season. Oh, blimey. Thoughts rattling up in your cranium. Are you piecing together the puzzle here, are you, Venom? Able to figure out what might be the big reveal? Well, with you and Nova around, Slasher, I wouldn't be surprised if it'll get a bit chaotic, especially in the chat. And hello, Manchik, you welcome! Welcome to another JTV ASMR stream. Blue Bats, I've never actually played the game of life. Maybe I should, unless that becomes a bit chaotic, but then again, well, I'd be happy to give it a try. Well, Venom, we'll see if you've cracked it, we'll see if you've guessed the big reveal. And yes, good point, Thalicia, thank you for warning me. I'll try and be careful. Gavin Davis, hello there, welcome, welcome. Oh, loud noise in the background. Again, apologies for any noises you might hear. How often do I stream? Twice a week. So it's on Wednesdays today, and Saturdays, same time as usual. Thank you, Manchik, you hello as well, and yes, I'm feeling okay, just a little bit stuffy in the nose, but feeling well regardless. Didn't hear anything, that's a relief. I can hear a lot of doors slamming outside. I can't really do much about it right now, but hey-ho. A game called Set that gets chaotic in your family. I can only imagine what the rules must be for that. One player got so many kids she had to use a toy bus to hold them all. Oh, blimey, that must have been a fun little twist to your game of life, Slasher. Oh, is that so, Gavin? That's wonderful to hear. I'm glad to know that the poetry video has been keeping you motivated. Loud noise in the background, radio silence. That's a relief then. That's a big relief, because it means that it's not picking up on the microphone and I'm overthinking. Phew. Ah, blimey. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if it's the fabled, that Pom fellow that I've heard so much about. That little... I've heard, again, consistent reports from the occasional person here and there that a little fellow calls Pom de Terre, I think he calls himself, has been going around causing mischief. I have no clue where he came from or who he is, but one can only imagine. Venom, I know you read poetry, but do you write any? That's an excellent question. I have dabbled with a bit of writing of poetry in the past. Maybe I should get back into it. It's been quite a while. You like audiobooks, do you, Blue Bats? Something I really should delve into as well, really. I must give those a try. Last time you played a game of life ended up with 6 kids. Oh, blimey. I can only imagine how much fun that makes things, or just complicated, like, oh, how did we get here again? Ah, yes, Slasher, yes, I've been seeing some of the writing that you've been doing of the JTV ASMR crew, which is very, very fun, and last stream read some of those, and it was a lot of fun indeed. Have I read anime books? Okay, I'll admit, I've dabbled in a few anime books here and there. Really love the art style for some of them. I was directed to things like Full Metal Alchemist and a bit of One Piece. Some suggestions from a gentleman with black and green tufts of hair and strange eyes that seem to glow green. I think his name was it Dub, he called himself? Well, yes, I've bumped into him on occasions, and he's a good source of information for bits of pop culture for me to check out. I'm quite curious to know more about, of course, your world, and that includes the very interesting pieces of media around, including, of course, anime books or manga. Demon Slayer. Oh, I bet that one's exceptionally popular. I must give that a watch. Or a read, one or the other. You love Dub, do you, Jellybean? That Dub fellow definitely seems like a very shy sort, but I think he's a good lad. I think he's got a good heart. Even if he's a bit on the, you know, a bit on the awkward side, bless him. You love the Apothecary Diaries, I see. Oh, and we got another Dub fan here. I'll have to let him know, anytime I bump into him, I'll have to let him know that he's got, you know, quite a few fans of his. Hopefully he doesn't get spooked by it. Alright, are we all ready for the big reveal? I think today's a good opportunity to reveal what I've got up my sleeves, you could say. And Felicia, no, I've not seen Johnny Test. That's completely new to me. Well, I've heard about it, but I've not seen it. And hello, Nova. See, this is why it's always good to have a bit of a warm-up before we delve into the juicy bits, so people like Nova can arrive. Hello. Youngest obsessed with Johnny Test. Okay, so we've got a few people ready. How about the rest of you? Are you all ready for the big reveal? A big surprise. I wish I had some confetti and cake and things like that to start dishing out or whatever, but this'll do, though. This'll do. Okay, then. So, this was a big surprise to me as well from Tsunami Juria, who created something very, very nice for me, and I want to show everyone. I really hope you all enjoy it. Ah, good, good, you're all ready. So, first I'm going to make my little cartoonish avatar to the right here disappear, like magic. Watch this. Right, so, make it disappear. It's this one. Right. Don't worry, I'm still here. I am still here. Let's see if this works. Cross fingers, everyone. 3, 2, 1. And there we go. There we are. Hello there. It's me, Aurelius. This is what I would call a rather dashing-looking, what's it called again? A VTuber model, I believe. Yes, a VTuber model. So hello to you all. It's a little bit finicky, I'll admit. I'm not quite used to just VTuber technology in general, but I have heard about it. So if I look like I'm just looking away like that, then I do apologize. I am trying my best with what I've got. But yes! A 3D VTuber model based on, well, of course, this is how I look to the left, but this VTuber model created by Tsunami Juria. Thank you so much, Juria. Thank you so much. It is so wonderful to finally have a VTuber model. And look, I can do this. Okay, yes. What software? Let me check. It's called VC Face. Yeah, turned me into an anime boy. Look at me. Look at this hair. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. Of course, you know, with VTuber models, you know, there's certain limitations with what can be done. For example, well, my arms aren't that thin. In real life, of course, if you look to the left, I'm a bit more bulky than that. But, you know, that, of course, that's just part and parcel of VTuber models, really. It's a bit of an interesting twist to one's appearance, one could say, depending on the resources you use. So yes, thank you, Thalicia. Oh, thank you for calling me cute. And you, same to you, Mancheek. Gavin called saying Lady Aurelius. Cheeky. Oh, thank you, Starglow. Thank you. Need a model of me, well, my VTuber self holding my... Oh, of course, yes, you know about the times when I've been turned into a plush. I don't think I should probably elaborate on how that possibly happened, but that has happened quite a few times. I could badly edit it on top of my head, but I don't think I'd be quite as flashy. In any case. So, yes, this is it. Thank you, Chantel, thank you. Again, we should all thank Tsunami Juria. Let's all thank Tsunami Juria for donating this creation, this VTuber model. And I think, considering what she had to work with, she did a bang-up job. Oh, better yet, head pads for me. Oh, bless you. Thank you, Bluebats. Again, how did I do that? Well, again, I'm just using a software, but it was otherwise created by Tsunami Juria, who did a fantastic job creating this model. Well, you were close, Venom. You were close. A face cam. I'll admit, I'm a bit shy about going on camera. I mean, of course, you have a nice, lovely image of me to the left. Surely that might be good enough. But yes, but otherwise, yes. VTuber model of me. Maybe I should just edit a little plushie on top of my head to the right. Maybe. Or maybe to the shoulder on the left, perhaps. Yes, I am quite small when I'm turned into a plush, but I don't think anyone seems to mind. And yes, exactly what Venom says here. Face tracking software, and of course I have a webcam, so do look at my head, shift left and right. Look at this hair. Oh, thank you, Starglow. Glad to know that I'm cute even when I've been turned into a plush out of bizarre means. You want to hug that plush now? Part of me wonders if I could ever create real-life plushes based on, well, the times where I have been turned into a plush. If I could do that, that would be fantastic. Problem is, though, it's a bit expensive. And by a bit, I mean very expensive to make that happen, so... Yes, I agree, Jellybean. Such majestic hair on the VTuber model. Because I'm worth it, says Slasher. And yes, the Leisure on Saturday, I'm hoping from now on start streaming like this. I hope that people enjoy it, but if there's ever, of course, any technical mishaps in regards to this, I can always just pull out the old model from the, the cartoonish avatar to the right. Anyway, we've all had lots of time to get prepared. Now I think it's a good time to delve into some poems. Let me just make a folder so I know which ones are done. Right, are we all ready for a bit of poetry reading? And once again, as always, remember to hydrate, everyone. Get a drink inside you. You never know what might happen to those PNG tubers. They might transform indeed. And yes, that's the plan B, basically Slasher, the cardboard cutout version, you could say. Created by Magical Grim, very talented artist. Oh, blimey, here we go again with the Vimto tax. Yes, go on, raid my Vimto stash, raid my blackcurrant drinky poos that I add with plenty of water, of course. As always, anytime I'm streaming, there's always the Vimto tax, where some of these lovely fans here like to raid my drinky poos that I have during streams. Lovely stuff, of course, a lovely brand, but as always, of course, I'm not trying to advertise. This is just my opinion. You might try it, and you might not like it. And besides, it's limited only to the UK, as far as I know. Oh, thank you, Chantel. More Vimto for me. More Vimto for you as well. I'll share with all of you if I could. All right, let's delve into some poems. Question is, should we do serious poems, sad poems, or some silly poems? Which one should we start with? Yes, I call them drinky poos, blue bats. I think it just rolls off the tongue. Venom Cat, any social media to stalk? I mean, follow me on. Well, aside from the YouTube, there should be a link in the videos, in the JTV ASMR videos, where you can join the Discord server. There's also JTV ASMR on Twitter/X, which, to be fair, is not really that active, but I really should get around to adding some more stuff there too. Okay, yes, we have a lot of serious poems to be suggested first. Okay then, okay. I think we can start off with this one. So what I'll do a bit of a reading, and don't worry if you don't understand it, because some of these are quite abstract or maybe written in old language, but I'll try my best to do a bit of an analysis where possible. Let's do this one first, by John Keats, Ode on Melancholy. No, no, go not to Lethe, neither twist wolf's bane, tight-rooted for its poisonous wine, nor suffer thy pale forehead to be kissed by nightshade, ruby grape of Prosperine. Make not your rosary of yew berries, nor let the beetle nor the death moth be your mournful Psyche, nor the downy owl a partner in your sorrow's mysteries. For shade to shade will come too drowsily and drown the wakeful anguish of the soul. But when the melancholy fit shall fall sudden from heaven like a weeping cloud, that fosters the droop-headed flowers all, and hides the green hill in an April shroud, then glut thy sorrow on a morning rose, or on the rainbow of the salt sand wave, or on the wealth of globed peonies, or if thy mistress some rich anger shows, imprison her soft hand, and let her rave, and feed deep, deep upon her peerless eyes. She dwells with beauty, beauty that must die, and joy, whose hand is ever at his hips, bidding adieu, and aching pleasure nigh, turning to poison, while the bee-mouth sips. Aye, in the very temple of delight, veiled melancholy has her sovereign shrine. Those seen of none save him whose strenuous tongue can burst joy's grape against his palate fine. His soul shall taste the sadness of her might, and be among her cloudy trophies hung. That was Ode on Melancholy by John Keats. This poem, as the title suggests, it's about depression, so sadness, glooming, overwhelming sadness. I completely understand if you don't understand it off the bat, Chantel. Totally understand that, but good to know that it at least sounds good. So, essentially what people take away from this poem is that it's telling people don't turn to poison, don't turn to gloomy sorts of appearances or gloomy sorts of, what's the word? Basically any sort of things that are gloomy, things that are sad, that would make you sad. Things like the death moth or downy owl and things like that. Don't turn to those when you're sad, when sadness envelops you. It's back in those days, of course, sadness was more of like a... It's not like how things are these days, with depression and whatnot. Back then, you usually had people writing sort of poems like these to either uplift. This one is suggesting about turning to happier things, to lighter things, and if one's mistress is angry, cover the hand, show that you care, show that you're listening, show that you are there for this person. And that, end of this, to wrap it up, there is no beauty without pain, and there's no pain without beauty. There is no light without darkness, and vice versa. And bluebirds, so don't turn into monsters? Well, I suppose you could interpret it like that as well, yes. Just I suppose don't weaponize that melancholy and turn it against others, is another way of kind of looking at it. Even in sadness, even in darkness, there are still wonderful things out there. Wonderful things in life. Glad to know you enjoyed this one, Starglow. Ode and Melancholy by John Keats, an excellent poem to start things off. And people were very dramatic back in the day, Slasher. They were putting their hands on their head going, "Ooh," when things get a bit too wild. And anybody heard of The Chaos by Gerald Nolt's Trinité? That's a fun poem. I might just have to keep that in mind. Thank you for the suggestion, Dragonstar. Might look into it later. Well, when sadness is overwhelming, sometimes, yes, turning to friends and family can help. Of course, these days, it can be quite complicated. It's quite complex. But back in those days, it was a much different sort of kind of understanding of melancholy, as they call it. Okay, let's read another one. What do we have here? Let's read one by a modern poet, Till Lindemann. He sings in bands like Rammstein and his own self-named band, really, his solo band. Actually, let me just check something quickly. Hang on. Bless you, Jelly, bless you. I just hope that whatever you do, I hope that you keep yourself safe and that you get the help and support you deserve. Please try and look after yourself. Just know that I'm rooting for you. We're all rooting for you. Let's all cross our fingers for Jellybean here, shall we, folks? Show some love. Show some support. We're all in this together, after all. Yeah, I completely understand, Jellybean. I completely understand. Again, I'm keeping my fingers crossed for you, and I really hope that things improve. Same to all of you here who might be struggling, of course. Much love to all of you. But now, shall we... Oh, you're more than welcome, Jelly. Shall we delve into another poem, then, by Till Lindemann? This is called Ich weiß, or I Know. And naturally, I'll be reading the English translation. So, I know not why I get up late, why I go to bed so early, all at my own bidding. I am lonely with much hard work, so I have lived too many years, yet I am still too young for the stretcher. I am a half-fermented wine, a heavy desk upon one leg. No fish, and without a water country, I'm willing to hold a young hand, but young blood respects me no more. I have no bullet in the gun. Must I with aging flesh be content to deceive my own wife by myself? Age sleeps upon my temples. I buy my luck to the harbour. Those without beauty must at least live well, and I was never given beauty, after all. That was Till Lindemann. I know, or ich weiß. Oops. I think I made... I think I ruined my VTuber model there, folks. Bear with me. Yes, I've completely ruined it. I'm sorry, I seem to have caused a bit of a technical issue. Is that better? There we go. It doesn't seem to move anymore now. This VTuber model, a bit awkward, but let's see if we can get it working again. Yes, sorry about that. Some technical issues on my part. Let me try and fix this. You can see it. It's completely cut me to pieces now. There we go. There we go. Again, terribly sorry about that. This is why I don't really use the editor and whatnot. Just give me just a moment. Let me just make the VTuber disappear. There we go. Now let's... There we go. There we go. Terribly sorry about that. Shrunk in the wash. Might as well have done. Yes, that was just a bit of a technical issue. So, apologies there. I've not been shrinking, really. It's just the VTuber model's fault. Right. Anyway, shall we, Yes, exactly, Chantel. Thank you all for your patience here. I am new to this. I am new to this, you see. Anyway, part of me wants to read the poem again, because just to kind of get things back on topic. Shall I do it one more time? Shall I read it again? I think if I suddenly stop moving, it might be because I'm leaning a bit too closely, so... Again, apologies about that. I'll read it again, So here it is, Till Lindemann, I know. Not why I get up late, why I go to bed so early, all at my own bidding. I am lonely with much hard work. So I have lived too many years, yet I am still too young for the stretcher. I am a half-fermented wine, a heavy desk upon one leg. No fish, and without a water country, I'm willing to hold a young hand, but young blood respects me no more. I have no bullet in the gun. Must I, with aging flesh, be content, deceive my own wife by myself? Age sleeps upon my temples. I buy my luck by the harbour. Those without beauty must at least live well, and I was never given beauty, after all. So that was I Know by Till Lindemann. In the German version is Ich weiß. So, quite a sad, depressing poem. I suppose it's about, well, you could say the struggles of growing older, but not to the point where you're ancient, but probably about, you know, middle age or so. You're not a spring chicken anymore, but you're not completely decrepit and ancient. Just kind of losing your youth, and things are no more easy anymore. And critical of one's own kind of appearance, and, you know, feeling like you're not beautiful. It's quite a sad poem. It is a rather sad poem, really. I think, you know, a lot of us get quite conscious about when we grow older, and then we kind of feel like, you know, we're losing it. Bless you, Jelly. don't blame you there, though. I don't blame you there. It's a completely common problem to be feeling like, oh, you know, I'm getting old and everything's going, everything's losing and slipping away. It's quite a sad poem, but quite refreshingly blunt in a sense, but you know, in a poetic way. Just remembered I really should go and get in the habit of going on the social medias and whatnot in order to promote the live streams. I'm really bad at remembering that detail. Not very good at it at all. Oh dear. Let's quickly type that in. Well, at least I put something out on Twitter. A bit late for the stream, but whatever. Okay. Old man, really? Oh, don't worry about me. I've still got plenty of kick inside me, for sure. But still, point remains, of course, about that poem. Let's read another one. Now this one's going to be a long one, a very long one indeed, so strap yourselves in for this absolute roller coaster ride of a poem. Here we go. It's by Ezra Pound, and it's called In a Station of the Metro. Here we go. The apparition of these faces in the crowd, petals on a wet black bough. And that was the poem. That's all. I pranked you all. That was 2 lines. It was 2 lines of a poem. It was the only lines in the poem, just 2 of them. So, yes, it's, that was a bit naughty of me to say that it was a long poem, because it wasn't. I deceived you all with my cheekiness. Prankster number 1 indeed. But yes, this is actually the entire length of the poem by Ezra Pound, In a Station of the Metro. And the story behind this was that this was created during the modernist era. This is an era during the, I believe it's the very early 20th century, where poets were really kind of trying to push boundaries, trying to really kind of go against the grain when it comes to writing. And originally, this poem had significantly longer lines, but over the years the poet cut down more and more and more of it, just entire lines and stanzas ripping away, going, no, terrible, get rid of it. And the final result was 2 lines. Just 2 lines. And yet, it's quite punchy all the same. The apparition of these faces in the crowd, like ghosts, like crowds of ghostly faces all rummaging around in an underground metro, petals on a wet black bough. Even a simplistic sight of people rushing around, flashing their faces in the metro, comparable to something as beautiful as petals on a black bough. So yes, it's at first glance it can be looks like quite a bit of a silly poem, but in actuality I think it has a bit more depth to it than it might seem at first. Right, let's do another poem. This one's a modern one by a Scottish poet, Carol Ann Duffy. She was formerly the Poet Laureate of the UK. This one is called War Photographer. In his dark room, he is finally alone, with spools of suffering set out in ordered rows. The only light is red and softly glows, as though this were a church and he a priest preparing to intone a mass. Belfast, Beirut, Phnom Penh, all flesh is grass. He has a job to do. Solutions slop in trays beneath his hands, which did not tremble then, though seem to now. Rural England, home again to ordinary pain which simple weather can dispel, to fields which don't explode beneath the feet of running children in a nightmare heat. Something is happening. A stranger's features faintly start to twist before his eyes. A half-formed ghost. He remembers the cries of this man's wife, how he sought approval without words to do what someone must, and how the blood stained into foreign dust. 100 agonies in black and white, from which his editor will pick out 5 or 6 for Sunday's supplement. The reader's eyeballs prick with tears between bath and pre-lunch beers. From aeroplane, he stares impassively at where he earns a living, and they do not care. So that poem was called War Photographer by Carol Ann Duffy. As the title suggests, it's about a war photographer. The feelings rushing through his mind, and then through the minds of the people in the photos, thinking about how things were back then during an unspecified war, probably either World War I or World War II. And then finally, talking about the editor puts it in the newspapers and people either go, oh, this is so sad, right, moving on, or they stare and go, whatever. I don't care, whatever. You can choose the stories by picking the right pictures. Well said, Chantel, well said, yes. So this, you could interpret this as a bit of an exploration of the minds of, various kind of perspectives, and one of them being the, well, quite a cynical look into presenting these sorts of painful memories captured on camera in the media, in newspapers, and that I suppose we can all take it for granted. So, yes, I totally agree, Jellybean. It was quite a deep poem. I suppose quite sad at times and quite raw and gritty, but also a little bit on the pessimistic side. Let's mix things up. Let's do this one by Robert Frost. This one's quite a poetic one. A poetic poem. Oh, well done, Aurelius, old chap. Now, this is quite a descriptive one. I think it's quite beautiful. So this is Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost. It's gonna be good. Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. He gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Added a bit of a rock of the head for that one. So, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost. That one was a bit more uplifting, I like to think. More like kind of a description of a nearby area you really want to explore and to check out, and think, my, I so want to just lose myself in all of this. But of course, priorities say, no, I think you're getting a bit distracted. What are you doing? Realizing, We can't have it all, can we? Can't go around and explore the deep, dark, beautiful woods or the frozen lakes, especially. There's things to do, places to go. So, Robert Frost, that one. Are you all enjoying the poem so far? I certainly hope so, of course. I really hope so. I'm just going to take a quick swig. Unfortunately, the VTuber model cannot lift a drink, but that's fine. Not really the point. Also, I've really got to get used to... Sorry, let me try something here. Let's push that monitor back. Because if I get too close, it freezes in place. We don't want that, do we? But anyway. Good to know that you lovely folks are enjoying the poetry for today. And again, we do have some funny ones. We do have some silly ones. We have all sorts, really, all sorts. Question is, should we do a sad poem? A silly poem? Or maybe something unexpected? What do you think? What do you think? Some of these are quite blue. Some of them are quite descriptive. Some of them are surprisingly blunt, but have a nice little twist to them. Oh, the poems are going perfectly with the tunes, Jelly. Excellent, excellent. Wonderful to know it makes a good companion. I totally agree, Starglow. Totally agree. These are but some of them are considered like some of the best poets, better yet, to date. Others like Till Lindemann, well, of course he's known for being an excellent songwriter, but his poetry is also very descriptive, very beautiful. And yes, poems can be weird, Slasher. I agree, poems can be weird. It's a bit difficult these days considering that, you know, back in the old days, poetry could be put in the written word. And these days, you could just put on the internet if you wanted to. So it's much different these days. And that's quite alright, Felicia. Thank you for coming on down, and kisses for you too. Mwah. Kisses to all of you. Mwah, mwah. And you would like a poetic poem? I swear this is going to be... this is going to linger over my head for that blunder of a saying, really. Bluebats needing to catch up on poetry. I'd suggest going into a bookshop or a library and seeing what's there. Look for a poetry anthology and get the most kind of variety. Depending on who you might like, for instance, you know, the classics like Edgar Allan Poe for the darker kind of stuff. People like Carol Ann Duffy if you want some more modern kind of twists. Till Lindemann if you like a mix of both poetic and also some blunt and occasionally rude poems. But still, it really varies. It really varies for what you're after. Okay. What to choose next? What to choose? How about this one? This is a nice one. It's called Oh Taste and See by Denise Levertov. Here we go. The world is not with us enough. Oh, taste and see. The subway Bible poster said, meaning the Lord, meaning, if anything, all that lives to the imagination's tongue. Grief, mercy, language, tangerine, weather, to breathe them, bite, savor, chew, swallow, transform into our flesh, our deaths, crossing the street, plum, quince, living in the orchard and being hungry and plucking the fruit. That was Oh Taste and See by Denise Levertov. And yes, jelly beans, I've done some poetry writing myself, but I think I might have misplaced a number of them is the thing, so... Oh dear. Still, yes, I agree with Chantel. I'm sure they were great. I'm sure there must have been a lovely read. But yes, this one, Oh Taste and See by Denise Levertov. Very much like bursts of words and descriptions. Picture yourself walking down the street and just absorbing everything around you as if sampling fruit from a market. I suppose literally or metaphorically in a sense, really. An Aurelius poetry stream with me writing and sharing poetry. I could. There's an idea. I could very well do that, Slasher. An excellent idea. Thank you. Thank you. But, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm open to the idea. I just need to get to actually getting around to writing again. Whether through keyboard or pen and paper. I think the pen and paper is a lot more of a personal touch, but again, we'll see. We'll see. I'll read this poem one more time because it's quite a short one and it's quite nice. Oh Taste and See by Denise Levertov. The world is not with us enough. Oh, taste and see. The subway Bible poster said, meaning the Lord, meaning, if anything, all that lives to the imagination's tongue. Grief, mercy, language, tangerine, weather, to breathe them, bite, savor, chew, swallow, transform. Into our flesh, our deaths, crossing the street, plum, quince, living in the orchard and being hungry, and plucking the fruit. So, again, Oh Taste and See by Denise Levertov. Sometimes all it takes to lose oneself is just to focus completely on the senses, what you hear, what you see, what you taste, etc. Soak it all up, soak it all in. Shall I read a silly poem next? I don't blame you, Jelly. I feel a bit peckish myself as well. Hydrate, folks. Remember to hydrate. Always important. Right. What's next? Yes, actually, yes. Good advice there, Chantel. It's a good way to stop a panic attack is to focus on... How's it going again? I think it's 5 things you can see, 4 things you can hear, 3 things you can touch, basically like that. I see, wrote poetry in high school, as it's called over there. And, well, I'd be happy to read some more poems, more silly ones, This is going to make you laugh. This is by a gentleman who's been considered by some a modern philosopher, and by others a rather silly gentleman with some peculiar ideas, who's spoken on a podcast, many very famous podcasts, and even had his own TV shows exploring the world for various reasons. His name is Carl Pilkington. Let's read 2 of his poems. There's a bit of a 2-in-1 bonanza here. Jellyfish, Parts 1 and Part 2. So let's start with Jellyfish, Part 1. I don't like jellyfish. They're not a fish. They're just a blob. They don't have eyes, fins or scales like a cod. They float around blind, stinging people in the seas. And no one eats jellyfish with chips and mushy peas. Get rid of them! Refreshingly on the nose, and it's not exactly mincing words here about jellyfish. It's so upfront. It's such like a vent poem, like a rant poem. That's why I love it. And of course that ending, just kind of catch you out of nowhere. So let's read the second part. Jellyfish Part 2. It would be spiteful to put jellyfish in a trifle. So, that's Jellyfish and Jellyfish Part 2 by Carl Pilkington. No, sea turtles eat jellyfish. I genuinely didn't know that. One of your cousins used to call you jellyfish. Brilliant, brilliant. Again, such a peculiar set of poems here, but funny all the same. Rather funny. I quite like them. I hope they put a smile on your faces. What next? What next? Let's read another silly one by Lewis Carroll, as many of you might know as the author of Alice in Wonderland. Yes, I think they look quite beautiful as well, Chantel. Jellyfish are quite beautiful creatures. Dangerous, of course, dangerous. If you ever get stung by jellyfish, I believe the solution is to get hot water. Like shower, a very hot shower. You might know of the old wives' tale about a certain tinkle, yucky tinkle for jellyfish stings, but I've heard that it's hot water will do fine enough. Anyway, let's delve into some more silly ones then. Here we go with Jabberwocky. 'Twas brillig and the slithy toads did gyre and gimble in the wabe. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the mome raths outgrabe. Also, hello to you, Maddie the Simp. Hello, welcome. We've been doing some readings of poetry, and you might have noticed that, yes, I've got a VTuber model now. Thank you to Tsunami Juria. Anyway, so let's continue with The Jabberwocky by Lewis Carroll. Beware the Jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that snatch. Beware the Jubjub bird, and shun the fruminous Bandersnatch. He took his vorpal sword in hand, long time the manxome foe he sought. So rested he by the tum-tum tree, and stood a while in thought. And as in uffish thought he stood, the Jabberwock, with eyes of flame, came whiffling through the tulgey wood, and burbled as it came. 1, 2, 1, 2, and through the vorpal blade went snicker-snack. He left it dead, and with its head he went galumphing back. And hast thou slain the Jabberwock? Come to my arms, my beamish boy. Oh, frabjous day, callooh-callay, he chortled in his joy. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toads did gyre and gimble in the wabe. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the mome raths outgrabe. That was Jabberwocky by Lewis Carroll. Oh, bless you, Nova. I'm sorry that you ended up missing out on the stream here, but don't worry, we've still got some more poems to read after all. We've got plenty more to read. Glad to know you think that the VTuber model here is stylish, Slasher. Tell you what, since we're all been talking about a jellyfish because of a certain poem I read, let's read it again. Let's read it just for you especially, Nova. Just for you especially. Read a poem by Carl Pilkington, 2 poems in one about jellyfish. So here they are once again, here we go. I don't like jellyfish. They're not a fish, they're just a blob. They don't have eyes, fins, or scales like a cod. They float about blind, stinging people in the seas. And no one eats jellyfish with chips and mushy peas. Get rid of them! And Part 2, Jellyfish Part 2, again by Carl Pilkington. It would be spiteful to put jellyfish in a trifle. So there you go, Nova. At least you got some context on why talking about jellyfish all of a sudden in the chat here. What to choose next? From jellyfish to Jabberwocky to jellyfish again. Let's do another one. Let's read, we'll read this one by Rudyard Kipling. And then we'll do another Rudyard Kipling right afterwards. There's a reason for this. This was written during World War I think, and it's called If. Rudyard Kipling was, of course, he was a very patriotic man. He loved his country. He loved essentially Britain. And he thought the Great War, aka World War I, he thought it was a calling for all the men, all the able-bodied young men, to march into the battlefield and fight with honor like heroes. He was patriotic. So let's have a read of this one then. And thank you, Nova, thank you. I'm glad to know that you like the VTuber model. I do apologize if the VTuber model suddenly goes stiff, like, you know, just like, it's a bit of a, trying to get used to it, you know, moving around. I'm glad you think it's very cute. Thank you, thank you. So anyway, let's read If by Rudyard Kipling. If you can oh, good start, let's try again. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good, nor talk too wise. Yes, I'm not going to get possessed, I promise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss, if you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds' worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and, which is more, you'll be a man, my son. That was If by Rudyard Kipling. So, I suppose I could interpret this as humility, an exercise in humility. You know, don't be too boastful and too, you know, talkative and wise. But don't be too hateful. Don't be too trusting. Don't be too untrusting. Don't basically go to extremes one way or the other. Be yourself. Be humble. Even if you're at the very bottom. With broken tools, as he says. Just keep marching on. Keep trying to do what you can with what you've got. Don't ever lose the common touch. Don't ever lose the understanding of everything around you. And then, as he says at the end, you'll be a man, my son. Yes, why do my eyes randomly shoot around when I read? Well, part of it's because I'm trying to look to one side to read, and then I look at the screen to see all your comments, and also at the looking at the model to make sure that it's working. But yes, it's more than likely the tracking software. It really requires me to be staring right into the webcam, but I can't exactly do that. It's a bit awkward, you see. Oh well. Oh well. So yes, that's by Rudyard Kipling. No, I promise I'm not being possessed. Oh, you are all so silly. Okay. Let's read another poem. This one's... oh, it's locked into place again. Okay. I'm glad you think the poem's neat, Chantel. We've got another one here. This is also by Rudyard Kipling, but this one was written after his son, John, or otherwise known as Jack Kipling, was conscripted to the war effort, the Great War. Of course, we know it as World War I. Sadly, he lost his life in the battlefield. It makes me look shy. Looking away like, oh. I promise you I'm not being possessed. I think the VTuber model is being possessed on my part, though. See? Anyway. Mr. Kipling, can he give us cake? Only British people will understand that joke, I think. Welcome back, Felicia. Welcome back. No need to apologize at all. It's completely fine if anyone needs to step away for one reason or another. Totally fine. But anyway, let's read this sad poem written after the passing of Rudyard Kipling's son, Jack, who died in World War I. Again, this VTuber model getting possessed and frozen in place all the time. It's a bit of a pain to get used to, but comes of experience. Anyway, let's read it. My boy Jack. Have you news of my boy Jack? Not this tide. When do you think that he'll be coming back? Not with this wind blowing and this tide. Has anyone heard? Has anyone else had word of him? Not this tide. For what is sunk will hardly swim. Not with this wind blowing and this tide. Oh dear, what comfort can I find? None this tide, nor any tide, except he did not shame his kind, not even with that wind blowing and that tide. Then hold your head up all the more, this tide and every tide, because he was the son you bore, and gave to that wind blowing and that tide. So that was My Boy Jack by Rudyard Kipling. And yes, Chantel, you might have heard of the name Kipling either because of the cakes in the UK, but also Rudyard Kipling wrote The Jungle Book. That's probably something I should have mentioned earlier. A collection of stories all about the jungle and his, I believe it's about his explorations of the, it might have been Africa. Might have been those kind of areas, I think. But that, of course, got turned into the first story in the Jungle Book, eventually got turned into a movie by Disney. But yes, this was written right after Rudyard's son died in the Great War. Of course, he paid tribute to him with respect and said that, he died a hero. But yes, that's... with this wind blowing and this tide, I suppose one could... yes, India, thank you, Jellybean, yes. Of course, that was back when continents... there was the scramble for Africa in the 20th century, and other places like India where the British would kind of make themselves kind of get into and kind of soak up some of that Indian heritage as well and bring it back to Britain as well. Things like the food, for one thing. But anyway, yes, poor Jack. Again, died a hero. I think it's quite impactful, not with this wind blowing and this tide. I suppose one could say, the gusts of wind or the mighty roaring oceans, all of this pushing and crashing down, all of this, it's quite oppressive. It's very kind of oppressive sort of feel to it all. It is very, very sweet but solemn, very respectful. It's vastly different to, of course, his writing style back when his son was alive, and Rudyard Kipling was much more energetic and, he was very encouraging. He was very much, all for the war because he thought this was a proving ground. Everyone thought this was going to be a proving ground for Britain. That, it'll only be a few months. But, of course, it wasn't. It was 4 grueling, nightmarish years. So, very sad one, very sad. I think we should mix things up now and let's do a bit of a quirky one. This was apparently written when the poet John Clare was mad. I believe it's written in the 1700s, 1800s, something like that. This one is called Badger. Yes, it's a poem about a badger. Or is it? Let's find out. When midnight... Yes, I did it again. Yes, I'm being possessed. Let's try again. Take 2. Beep, beep. When midnight comes, a host of dogs and men go out and track the badger to his den, and put a sack within the hole and lie till the old grunting badger passes by. He comes and hears. They let the strongest loose. The old fox gears the noise and drops the goose. The poacher shoots and hurries from the cry, and the old hare, half-wounded, buzzes by. They get a forked stick to bear him down, and clap the dogs and take him to the town, and bait him all the day with many dogs, and laugh and shout and fright the scampering hogs. He runs along and bites all he meets. They shout and hollow down the noisy streets. He turns about to face the loud uproar and drives the rebels to their very door. The frequent stone is hurled wherever they go. When badgers fight, then everyone's a foe. The dogs are clapped, and urged to join the fray, the badger turns and drives them all away. They're scarcely half as big, demure and small. He fights with dogs for hours and beats them all. The heavy mastiff, savage in the fray, lies down and licks his feet and turns away. The bulldog knows his match and waxes cold. The badger grins and never leaves his hold. He drives the crowd and follows at their heels and bites them through. The drunkard swears and reels. The frightened women take the boys away. The blackguard laughs and hurries on the fray. He tries to reach the woods and awkward race, but sticks and cudgels quickly stop the chase. He turns again and drives the noisy crowd and beats the many dogs in noises loud. He drives away and beats them every one, and then they loose them all and all set them on. He falls as dead and kicked by boys and men, then starts and grins and drives the crowd again, till kicked and torn and beaten out he lies and leaves his hold and crackles, groans and dies. I think the last line should have said cackles, groans, and dies, but I'll have to double check on that. So, for context, again, this was apparently written when John Clare was mad. As in, not like, oh, I'm a wacky fellow, as in, like, mentally insane. It's essentially about a badger getting its revenge on badger hunters. It is quite an aggressive poem, yes, Thalicia. It's very bouncy. The rhythm is very bouncy. It's almost kind of quirky in a sense, where the hunter's about to hunt the badgers, but the badger fights back. A single badger frightens the entire town, leaves hunting dogs skimpering away crying, makes the drunkards swear and reel, and then everyone has to basically team up on the badger all at once, but the badger gets the last kind of cackle, gets the last grin to scare everyone just as he's being beaten to death, because he knows in the end he's won. Even if he did die, he's still won. You could see it as a bit of like a criticism of badger hunting. You know, can you imagine what would happen if the tables were turned, essentially? Like the shamanic drums, I suppose you could say that. Suddenly gain a fear of badgers. Well, Nova, if you see a badger, best just leave it alone, and I don't think it will chase you around town. Badger, mushroom, snake, it's a snake. Yes, I get that reference, Jelly. So yes, Badger by John Clare. Quite a quirky poem, really. It's quite darkly humorous, I'd say. Darkly humorous. What next? What next? You kidnapped a badger once, Slasher. Do I dare ask how and why? Do I dare? I mean, if anything, I'm a bit impressed, but... we know who to reach out for Badger Part 2. Yes, I've heard about the American badgers, the honey badgers, and other kind of badgers like that. Yes, definitely keep away from them, and as Thalicia aptly says, never disturb the animal habitats. You know, to be fair, knowing Slasher and her wacky stories that she's likes to share, she probably shouldn't be too surprised either. You were in the woods and just thought, why not? And you were bored. I swear, boredom is probably one of the worst kind of motivators for doing wacky things. Remember to hydrate. And of course, to anyone here, remember to share any content from JTV ASMR to all your friends and family and whatnot. Maybe give a bit of a nudge of the server in case you might think anyone out there might want to join in on the fun. Just a quick reminder, just in case anyone might like to do that. That would be really crackerjack. Yes, crackerjack. Well said, Nova. Boredom leads to chaos. Yes, especially when Slasher is involved. Oh, here comes the Vimto thieves. Yes, go on, take all the Vimto you want from me. Ah. What next? What next? Let's go for another one by Till Lindemann. This one is called My Good Ship, or Mein Gutes Schiff, originally written in German. Oh yes, thank you for the suggestion, Dragon Star Sidera, the Chaos Geralt Noise Tranite. I'll just quickly pull that up just so I know what I might find. Oh, crikey, this is about... Oh, it's very, very long. Exceptionally long. I might read a shortened version of it, but maybe a few verses. Pardon me, that's a phone going off there. Anyway. Yes, please do, of course, save some Vimto for me, folks. Even I need a bit of a drinky poo here and there. Drinky. Right, anyway. Till Lindeman, my good ship. On a great journey, has been met by its downfall. By chance the wind has calmly floated it amidst the maelstrom. Fate must not yet capsize it. The Terror must board secretly. The anchor cables are all torn. And the rigging long since worn, the lice and rats have deserted. The men at the mast have hung themselves, or they have all jumped overboard. I throw away my one last hope. I have no blade to cut myself, so I in shallow pain endure, but fate certainly takes its time. There are no islands far and wide until I stand on the pack ice, and soon perish in misery. So that was My Good Ship by Till Lindeman. Quite a blue poem, a very blue poem, very sad poem. Gloomy and dark and impactful. Impactful all the same, I'd like to think. I suppose the good ship in question, as mighty of a vessel as it may be, even something like that can be destroyed. And whether the people on board, whether they take things in their own hands, or they jump overboard and let the ocean swallow them, but being the final person on that, I suppose you could say, sinking or crashing or desolate ship where even the lice and rats have gone, instead just choosing to just stay there, just waiting for the end. I'm glad to know that you are enjoying the poems, Blue Bats, thank you. And yes, Jelly, I think it was nice as well. I think it's quite bittersweet in a sense too, Chantel, like very sad sorts of, kind of bitter sort of poem, but at the same time to kind of go down, to stick with things to the very end, even if it means just a slow, painful kind of end in question. Yeah, one could consider that quite brave, but another time, quite sad. Let's do another one. Actually, yes, I'll read a few lines as suggested by, I believe, Dragon Star. I'll read a few lines because this poem is long. So, Gerard Nolst Trinité. I'll read some extracts of The Chaos. Dearest creature in cremation, studying English pronunciation, I will teach you in my verse sounds like corpse, core, horse, and worse. I will keep you, Susie. I will keep you, sussy, busy, make your head with heat grow dizzy, tear an eye, your dress you'll tear. Queer, fair seer, hear my prayer. Pray, console your loving poet. Make my coat look new, dear, sew it. Just compare hard, hear and heard. Dies and diet, lord and word. Sword and sward, retain and Britain. Mind the latter, how it's written. Maid has not the sound of bade. Say said, pay, paid, laid, but played. Now I surely will not plague you with such words as vague and ague, but be careful how you speak. Say gush, bush, stake, streak, break, bleak. Previous, precious, fuchsia, via, recipe, pipe, studding sail, choir, woven, oven, how and low, script, receipt, shoe, poem, toe. Say, expecting fraud and trickery, daughter, laughter, and terpsichore, branch, ranch, measles, topsails, isles, missiles, similes, reviles. Holy, holly, signal, signing, same, examining but mining, scholar, vicar, and cigar, solar, meeker, war, and far. From desire, desirable, admirable from admire, lumber, plumber, beer, but breer, topsham, broughton, renown, but known, knowledge, done, lon, gone, non, tone. One anemone, balmoral, kitchen, lichen, laundry, laurel, Gertrude, German, wind and wind, bow, kind, kindred, cue, mankind, tortoise, turquoise, chamois leather, reading, reading, heathen, heather. This phonetic labyrinth gives moss, gross, brook, brooch, ninth plinth. Have you ever yet endeavoured to pronounce revered and severed, demon, lemon, ghoul, foul, soul, Peter, petrol, and patrol? Billet does not end like ballet. Bouquet, wallet, mallet, chalet. Blood and flood are not like food, nor is mould like should and would. Banquet is not nearly parquet, which exactly rhymes with khaki. Discount, viscount, load and broad. Toward, to forward, to reward. Ricocheted and crocheting. Croquette? Right, your pronunciation's okay. Rounded, wounded, grieve and sieve, friend and fiend alive and live. Is your R correct in higher? Keats asserts it rhymes Talia. Hue, but hug, and hood, but hoot. Buoyant, minute, but minute. Say abscission with precision, now position and transition. Would it tally with my rhyme if I mentioned paradigm? Twopence, threepence, teas are easy, but cease, crease, grease, and greasy. Cornice, nice, vallis, revise, rabies, but lullabies. Yes, I'm actually getting that same vibe, Chantel. How many words are trying to squeeze into this one? Honestly, this is a hoot to read. It's a hoot. Let's continue reading. Let's continue reading. Of such puzzling words as nauseous, rhyming well with cautious, tortious, you'll envelop lists, I hope, in a linen envelope. Would you like some more? You'll have it. Affidavit, David, David. To abjure, to bejure, chic does not sound like check, but ache. Liberty, library, heave and heaven. Rachel, loke, moustache, 11. We say hallowed, but allowed. People, leopard, toad, but vowed. Mark the difference, moreover, between mover, plover, dover. Leeches, breeches, wise, precise, chalice, but police and lice. Camel, constable, unstable, principal, disciple, label, petal, penal, and canal. Wait, surmise, plate, promise, pal. Suit, sweet, ruin, circuit, conduit. Rhyme with shirk it and beyond it. But it is not hard to tell why it's pal, mal, but Pall Mall. Okay, I'll wrap that one there, because this is a very long poem. It's aptly named The Chaos for a reason. If you read it, and try to read it aloud at the same time, you notice how challenging it is because of the different pronunciations, the different ways of spelling, and, you know, it really is just like holding a mirror right back at, right back at the English language. Like, God, it's an absolute train wreck. It's no wonder some people seem to struggle with pronunciating these words or just spelling them. Chaotic. It's a chaotic poem. What was the first clue? I should have taken that first clue in the title of the poem as a warning, Felicia, honestly. English is indeed chaos, indeed. Again, it's much longer. It is so much longer. I think I got up through about maybe 40% of it. But I thought I'd wrap it up there. Got to check out these other poems too, after all. Yes, I don't blame you for being like, what the hell, Nova? Shall we do another one? Let's check out another poem. Here's an old one, called Ode on the Death of a Favorite Cat Drowned in a Tub of Goldfishes. This is what was known as a mock elegy. Usually elegies were supposed to be written about, oh, a poor child, oh, a poor lover, oh, I've lost someone, someone who means so much, or someone so beautiful. But Thomas Gray thought he'd be a bit cheeky and write one about a cat. So at the time, that was quite tongue-in-cheek. I don't think it's based on a true story, because it's more of like a moral poem. Ode on the Death of a Favorite Cat Drowned in a Tub of Goldfishes. So, no cats were harmed in the making of this poem, in short, don't worry. It's metaphorical. Let's give it a read. 'Twas in a lofty vase's side, where China's gayest art had dyed the azure flowers that blow. Demurest of the tabby kind, the pensive Selima reclined, gazed on the lake below. Her conscious tale, her joy declared. The fair round face, the snowy beard, the velvet of her paws, her coat, that with the tortoise vise, her ears of jet and emerald eyes, she saw and purred applause. Still had she gazed, but midst the side 2 angels' forms were seen to glide, the genii of the stream, their scaly armour's Tyrian hue, though richest purple to the view betrayed a golden gleam. The hapless nymph with wonder saw a whisker first, and then a claw. With many an ardent wish, she stretched in vain to reach the prize. What female heart can gold despise? What cat's averse to fish? Presumptuous maid, with looks intent, again she stretched, again she bent, nor knew the gulf between. Malignant fate sat by and smiled. The slippery verge her feet beguiled. She tumbled headlong in, 8 times emerging from the flood. She mewed to every watery god some speedy aid to send. No dolphin came, no Nereid stirred, nor cruel Tom nor Susan heard. A favourite had no friend. From hence, ye beauties undeceived, know one false step is ne'er retrieved, and be with caution bold. Not all that tempts your wandering eyes and heedless hearts is lawful prize. Not all that glisters gold. So that was by Thomas Gray, Ode on the Death of a Favourite Cat Drowned in a Tub of Goldfishes. So yes, this is a highly dramatized version of Essentially, a cat being a bit too greedy, thinking she could sweep up some fish from a goldfish bowl in a Tyrian-hued kind of fine china bowl, but sadly died and lost all her 9 lives. Again, this isn't based on a true story, it's a metaphor, so no cats were harmed. Yes, poets are a strange bunch, especially back then, those who tried to push the boundaries, like this gentleman did. Excellently done. I agree, Felicia. Brilliantly done. It's darkly humorous as well, in a sense. And of course, the moral of the story is basically warning ladies out there: not all that is glittering is gold. Don't be greedy, ladies. Be careful. Don't go reaching out to grab something when it could be very well be the end, or maybe something bad. So, that's an interesting way of doing it, really, to get that message across. What next? What next? Poets can be quite humorous, yes. Oh, here's one. A classic, quite infamous actually, by William Shakespeare. Sonnet 130. So here we go. My mistress's eyes are nothing like the sun. Coral is far more red than her lips is red. If snow be white, then why then her breasts are dun? If hairs be wires, black wires grow on her head. I have seen roses damasked, red and white, but no such roses I see in her cheeks. And in some perfumes is there more delight than in the breath that from my mistress reeks. I love to hear her speak, yet well I know that music hath a far more pleasing sound. I grant I never saw a goddess go. My mistress, when she walks, treads on the ground. And yet, by heaven, I think my love as rare as any she belied with false compare. Slasher and Nova, you're lucky that it's the only Shakespeare poem that I've got to share with the stream. Oh, bless you both. Yes, Sonnet 130 by William Shakespeare, the bane of many secondary school or high school students. So, for about like 90% of the poem, he's basically just ripping into his wife, saying, "Oh, she doesn't have bright eyes, my wife. Her lips are not red. Her chest is grey. There's no red and white in her cheeks. Her breath stinks. Music is better than her voice. She doesn't walk like a goddess. She just walks like any old frumpy woman." But then rounds it off by saying, "But at least I'm being honest. I love her all the same. It's better to be honest and acknowledge her flaws than try to big her up like many poems did at the time. To just big up their loves with all sorts of exaggerations. Instead, well, I think Shakespeare kind of exaggerated the opposite way, but at least he made clear that at least I'm being honest, and I love my wife all the same." Oh, you poor listeners, Slasher and Nova specifically. Poor you two. Luckily, no more Shakespeare. Don't worry. Exactly, Jilly. Seeing the beauty in her flaws. An honest man sleeps on the sofa. Married man told a Slasher once. Yes, back in those days, of course, a bit different, but if Shakespeare was a modern day poet and wrote that, I'm pretty sure his mistress would probably be giving him a slap and then telling him, "Right, you're sleeping on the sofa, young man." Okay, blast. Probably should have thought that through a bit better. Right. It is getting quite late. I think I might just end the stream a little bit early. Just a bit tired is all, but still, still things have been going very well though, all things considered. Let's round off with one more poem. Let's do another silly one, shall we? Let's round it off with a silly, silly poem. Another one by Carl Pilkington. I don't think it has a title, so it's simply known as If Moths Had Eyes, unofficially known as that. Read during one of the Ricky Gervais Show live podcasts. No, it wasn't live, it was a podcast, silly me. Anyway, yes, last poem. Yes, I'm quite sleepy, bless me. Oh, blimey. Oh no, I said the magic word. Oh, pardon me. When I'm sleepy, and if someone says sleepy, then I yawn. Anyway, so Carl Pilkington's If Moths Had Eyes. If moths had eyes, would they be happier? How do they know they're not dead? Cavemen hunting for food, but not before they styled the hair on their head. What would last longer in dinosaur times? A blind man didn't stand a chance. Not with all them rocks about. I'd rather be a blind moth. Well, he's to the point. He's to the point. Nice one, Carl. Nice one. Do moths have eyes? I don't think they do. Oh no, people are saying yawns. Now, if I read yawn, then I yawn. Crikey. I don't think moths do have eyes, Chantel. I don't think they do. Blimey. Okay then, okay. I think it's a good time to round off the stream. Again, I do apologize for the sliding glitches of the VTuber model here, and freezing in place, etc. And, you went to Shakespeare's birthday party place? Do you mean his birth home, or? Either way. Yes, I think... Oh, crikey. Too many yawns. So tired. I'm glad to know it's adorable, at least for you, Chantel. Oh, my yawns are infectious, are they, Felicia? Apologies to you all. I'm a bit tired. Tell you what, we'll round it up here. Maybe there might be some more poems to read in the future, but to everyone who's tuned in, thank you so much for tuning in. It's been a lot of fun, as always, and yes, I really hope you enjoyed this, VTuber model. Thank you to Tsunami Juria for creating this, for donating this to me. And I'll be using it for future streams. Future streams. Exciting, exciting. Anyway. Oh, and hello to you, Grey Galloway, and I guess there's a goodbye to you as well. And much love to you too. Kisses to you, Felicia. Mwah. Kisses to all of you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I'm glad to know my yawns are adorable for you as well, Jellybean. Rightio then. Well, time for me to go. You've been quietly listening and playing a game. I hope you've been having fun with your game, and that the readings were a nice companion piece. Thank you to all of you for listening. Thank you to everyone for listening. As always, please consider sharing the live stream with others, or sharing any of the other content from JTV ASMR 2. And be sure to subscribe if you haven't. Drop a like and all that good stuff. And you've been to Shakespeare's birthplace. That's wonderful, Starglow. I envy you. Yes, I will be back on Thursday Thursday? No, Saturday, better yet, Saturday. I shall be back on Saturday for another stream. I hope to see as many of you there. Fingers crossed. But for now, good night to you all. Nighty-night. Sweet dreams. Much love. Much love to you all.